Hey, what's going on, everyone? Evan and Tucker here from Battlehawk Armory. We are out at the range again on another scorching Iowa summer day. But today we wanted to start a little bit of a new video series where we talk about some of our own firearms. So we're going to start the series off with some really cool pistols, which are Atlas Gunworks. And we're going to kind of go through both of these different pistols. We'll do a little bit of review, a little bit of shooting, show you what we use them for. But Tucker, why don't you go ahead and start us off with your pistol?
All right, so I am shooting the Atlas Athena. This is what I use for competitive shooting pretty much all the time. If you guys have seen the channel, seen us shoot, you know we mostly stick to the double stack 1911s rather, chambered in 9mm. This one was by far and away my favorite. It's a 4.6-inch barrel with the Atlas Alpha grip. I've got the shelves on each side, palm swells, and the gas pedal.
You do have an aluminum Atlas Alpha grip that you are able to install the palm swells on. So you have a palm swell here, which as you grip kind of gives you a little bit more something to hang on to with your firing hand. Right. And then on your support side there, you have a step grip. So as your fingers wrap around, it is actually the same grip texture through the front, so it's not any larger for your firing hand, but then you also have that same shelf at the rear for your support hand to hang on to. You do have the optional thumb rest installed. Atlas high grip safety, that's a new standard feature there. Oversized safety that's upswept, gives you really good purchase on the pistol, helps you resist some of those recoil energies. It also is red dot cut. What red dot are you running, Tucker?
So on this one I have the Vortex XL, so it's in the Defender line, it's the largest of them, and I'm running a 6 MOA dot.
So one of Atlas's big things is the Perfect Zero, which is something that they went so far as to even stamp on their barrel hood here, Perfect Zero. So the idea with the Perfect Zero is that this pistol, aimed at a spaced down range with the appropriate ammunition and grip pressure and spring rate, you will fire a shot, you will experience recoil, and it will return right back to that exact same spot so you can rip another round essentially as quickly as you can. So that is essentially what the Athena is, what it's built for, and what you actually do with it. So 4.6-inch pistol. The reason I recommended it so heavily is it is a little bit more nimble of a pistol. So if you're actually running and gunning and shooting dynamically, that 4.6 compared to a full-size pistol is going to draw from the holster a little bit quicker. It's going to transition from A to B a little bit quicker since it's a little bit less nose heavy, and the difference in felt recoil is not tremendous. So what I have out here today is the granddaddy of Atlas's. This is an extremely old Atlas Gunworks product, but what this is representative of a Atlas Gunworks Titan built probably about 10 years ago. So this pistol is getting up there in age. It's certainly getting up there in round count. I have personally had this pistol for around 8 years now, rough numbers. It has well over 160,000 rounds on it. You wouldn't know it by looking at it. It has held up fantastically. Knowing the experience that I've had with this Titan, the durability, the reliability, and how it's shot across its lifespan, that's why I recommend them. So back in the day, Atlas didn't produce all of their own components. They did produce some, but they sourced a lot of other things from the open market and then did the final assembly of a pistol. So the grip here is actually a steel grip. This is a Phoenix Trinity Evo grip. Moving up, the safeties are much lower profile than what you'll see on some of the newer Atlas Gunworks products. They're not the high grip safety, so they do sit all the way flush down into the frame. So this is an iron sight only 9mm double stack 1911. We don't have a light rail frame because, again, that wasn't quite as big a deal back in the day. So realistically, this is representative of, you know, years gone by in pistol design, in trends in the marketplace, but it still shoots fantastic. 5.1-inch sliding barrel. The slide is tri-topped. Barrel is a bull barrel, and for transparency's sake, in about 160,000 rounds, the only part that I have had break on this is the actual trigger itself. I was shooting this pistol one day and I noticed that trigger just feels kind of mushy. I don't remember it always feeling like that. I took it all apart, and the trigger that was in it is no longer a product that they use. It was somebody else's product. It was actually broken in there. Pistol still functioned. It just didn't feel how it used to feel. So I got a hold of one of the new Atlas triggers. So this trigger is of the current production line, and just swap that out. So I've got a silver trigger, silver magwell, everything else all black DLC. But again, really old Atlas Gunworks Titan. This was their first stocking model, their first set model. They actually discontinued the Titan a couple years back in favor of a little bit more nimble guns like the Athena that you have. However, as demand rose, as pricing rose, they actually reintroduced the Titan. So there is a Titan V2 RDS that you can get now. It is the lowest price Atlas pistol to my knowledge. It is essentially this same pistol, but with all the modern Atlas features and an optics cut on it. So a lot of people have actually been choosing that Titan just due to the lower entry price. But again, I've had a great experience with this pistol. I've had a lot of fun with it over the years. It's taken me some pretty cool places and helped me do some pretty cool things. So it's good to get it out of the safe and get some rounds through it. So we'll go ahead, we'll get some rounds through it. Let's try it out and we'll kind of get your thoughts on it here in a few minutes. So I've got my old trusty Atlas Titan here. We'll kind of get warmed up, just settle into shooting for the day.
So same drill Evan just ran. I'm going to try it with my Atlas Athena. So 2 on paper steel, working on some transitions. See if I can run this anywhere near as good as him.
Alright, so we've just shot our own Atlas Gunworks pistols quite a bit. You'll see it in the footage, had a lot of fun shooting them. We're going to go ahead and switch pistols now. So I have switched over from my Atlas Titan to Tucker's extremely right-handed Atlas Athena that does not fit in my holster because it's so right-handed. But that's alright. We're going to go ahead and load it up and shoot a little bit, see what I think about Tucker's Athena, even given my left-handedness. Basically shoot the same drills that I shot with my Titan earlier, but with this Athena from a low ready since it's not going to fit in my holster. So red dots are definitely a better aiming system than iron sights. I really wish that I had a dot on my Titan, but it is what it is. The Athena definitely has a little bit more muzzle rise to it. But again, given that it is an Atlas product and it does have that perfect zero in its design, it still does come back really quick. So right off the bat, I can tell you I don't jive super well with the controls, obviously, given the left-handed nature of my shooting and the right-handed nature of this pistol. But I can certainly appreciate that if I were right-handed, I would be able to take even greater of an advantage of the design of this pistol. Still shoots fantastic, just a little bit more muzzle rise, but it does return right back. So far so good with the Atlas Athena.
Alright guys, so I'm running the same drills Evan just did. This time I'm just running it with his Titan. I already can tell quite a bit heavier, and the mag release is clearly on the wrong side, but haven't shot irons in a while, so this should be interesting. Alright guys, first run on a Titan. Clearly been quite a while since the last time I've shot an iron sight gun. Definitely noticed the weight. I did get a really good, really soft return to zero that I was kind of expecting out of a gun this heavy. Same time, found myself looking for an optic that's not there. Overall, really did enjoy shooting it. I just clearly need to put some more time back into iron sights.
Yeah, once you really learn how to control the recoil of this pistol, it is fast. So that was 1.53 seconds for 6 shots with the Athena. It took me a second just to figure out kind of where to apply the grip pressure. Pretty sure I was all alpha down there, so I really like this pistol. I wish it was set up a little bit better for me. Again, I do certainly notice that it is lighter. It comes up quicker. It goes from A to B quicker, so that would be our transitions. It's a little bit snappier, but that snappy recoil impulse also helps you kind of drive the pistol over to your next target. So you'll notice that last 6 shots, it basically sounded like just 6 consecutive rounds. It's because the pistol is so much lighter than my Titan. I can use the recoil energy to drive me right into the center of the A zone on the next target. Really like the Athena.
Alright guys, just wrap that drill up just like Evan said. Definitely less snappy on the heavier Titan. Again, looking for my optic that's not there with the iron sights, but overall just very smooth. Easily could run this in competition, just need some time back on the iron sights.
Alright, so as much fun as it was, that was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
It is pretty warm out here, which is why we have decided to wrap this video up sitting down in the shade. But again, it was a lot of fun. We did shoot some Atlas products today. Why don't you kind of run us through things that you like about your Atlas Athena and what you generally use it for.
All right, so generally competition. Thanks to Evan here, I shoot as much as I possibly can. Again, a hair snappier, but perfect return to zero. Once I kind of learned to flow with the pistol, I found it was pointing right where I wanted to, as long as, like Evan said earlier, I did my part. Phenomenal pistol. The only downside to my Atlas is it's pretty much made every other pistol I own a safe queen.
Yeah. So the Athena has been great for you, but kind of going back in time, what were your thoughts about my Granddaddy Titan right here?
Well, as always, I truly love a 5-inch gun. I always have. I did really like the weight on that. I had a great return to zero. Getting used to not having an optic is clearly a curve for me there. Haven't done that in quite a while. I've found it feels very similar to every other Atlas I've shot. Just truly a joy to shoot. Makes me want to spend more time on the gun.
Yeah, it has just been fantastic. I can still to this day remember the last time I had any sort of a stoppage with it whatsoever, because it's been such a rare occurrence. Again, I've traveled the country. I've shot all different types of matches with this pistol. And truthfully, when I met my wife, she wasn't a big shooter, and I let her shoot this, and this is kind of what did it for her. This is the pistol that got my wife into competitive shooting, because it just shoots fantastic. It's just been essentially flawless. The experience that I have had with this Atlas is really why I say, above all else, I would look at purchasing an Atlas, even now today, because I know this is a purpose-built pistol, right? It's meant to be as good a shooting of a pistol as can be, but it's just going to work, and it's going to work, and it's going to work, and it's going to work. So it's not like one of those products where, hey, it's tuned to the very edge. There may be something that shoots better than this, but the durability, the repeatability of this product to last as long as mine has lasted has just been amazing. As good as this has been, it is certainly showing its age, which is why a lot of times it lives in the safe unless I need a pistol to shoot an iron sight compliant division, which is what I'm doing right now, which is why it's out. Some of those enhancements are present on your pistol. So realistically, between the new Atlas product line and the old, most of these things are going to be true, but I would say that they are product improved. So the aluminum grip right off the bat, the texture is a little bit better, I would say. It's not quite as abrasive as this older grip, so you can shoot this for a longer period of time without tearing yourself up. It's also just a little bit more pleasant to shoot for extended periods of time because it's not as heavy. Back in the day, everyone wanted a steel grip, but realistically, these steel grips can get fatiguing, especially when you put a steel magazine with 23, 24 rounds of 9mm in the grip. When you're out at the range for a couple hours, when you're shooting matches all day long, the steel grip, carrying it on your hip, drawing it, shooting it, can get fatiguing. The aluminum just allows you to maintain your shooting for a longer period of time. I do prefer the aluminum grip. The ergonomic enhancements with the palm swells and grip panels. Now we kind of know that we actually want a wider grip, right? It helps fill the hand. It helps give you something to hang on to. I definitely prefer these palm swells, these step grips, even though they're not set up for me. They're fantastic. They're available on all of the V2 Atlas products. High grip safety. Again, it is a better safety. I wish that mine had that. I do have some pistols with it. It allows you to get up higher on the pistol and control the recoil even better. It's even oversized like a gas pedal. Things like gas pedals. Again, the ergonomics are just so well thought through on the new V2 Atlas product line. This Athena is really just kind of the Goldilocks size for me. It's right in between a commander and a full size at 4.6 inches. It's very nimble. It's still relatively soft shooting. And again, with all of the Atlas ergonomic improvements, with the Atlas durability, to me, this is the pistol to buy on the market right now. You know, in my house, we argue, oh, if money wasn't a factor, if we were going in the store, well, you know, what would we buy? Everyone kind of does that, whether it's cars or guns. To me, this Athena, not particularly good looking, but I know it's going to work. I know what I'm getting when I buy it. I'm going to enjoy shooting it for years and years to come. So this is probably my favorite pistol on the market right now today. This isn't just us saying, oh, hey, you know, buy one, this, that, and the other. These are our pistols. This is what we use them for. We have a lot of fun with them. And we know that you guys will too if you ever get a chance to shoot one, or if you already have one. Go ahead and tell us about your shooting experience down in the comments below. Let us know what you want to see next from us. Like I said, we're going to start reviewing more of our own pistols, what we actually do with them, things we like, don't like, and what we're looking forward to in the future. But again, if there's anything that you guys want to see from us, go ahead and leave it in the comments below. We appreciate you guys tuning in. We are cooked, so we're going to go hit some AC. We'll see you in the next video.
Thanks, guys.